my parents asked when Nathaniel got sick, how can we get help as a family? Where's the therapist, or who can you refer us to who can speak with us as a whole, get us all on the same track? And they were basically told there's no one. So I never had any sort of professional help in figuring out how to navigate having a sibling with BDD, how I could be on board with his treatment, how I could avoid accommodating behaviors. And as a result, I'm sure a lot of the things that I did ended up being unhelpful. And looking back, it's unfortunate that I didn't have the professional guidance that I know I really needed. I think that if we had gotten whole family therapy, we wouldn't have had to tiptoe around so much for so many years. I think that professional help and guidance could have really helped me navigate my own frustration, about him missing family gatherings, about us canceling vacations, so that I wouldn't end up projecting that frustration at him, because I ended up, not always coming across as very compassionate at times. And I think that was really damaging to our relationship. So I think a lot of my insights into, Nathaniel's BDD and how it impacted me, and all these sort of all this retrospect on what I wish had been available to me as a younger person, that's all kind of become more clear to me since Nathaniel died by suicide in 2011. And it made me realize, his passing brought to light for me how much I never said to him. And I think that, that was coming out a lot as I was receiving, counseling and therapy to sort of navigate my own post-traumatic stress. There were so many things that I still needed to talk to Nathaniel about and wasn't able to do it at this point, just going through his illness, its impact, and unfortunately, I couldn't do that. But what has been helpful for me is being able to tell, first of all, my story, because when he was alive, I didn't feel like I could speak very openly about his illness. It's not just that I couldn't talk to him about it. I didn't really feel like he really wanted me talking to anyone about it. So I don't think he would have really appreciated me, speaking out about my story at the conference or, at the foundation. But the other thing that's been really helpful has been connecting with BDD sufferers and being able to ask them the questions that I was unable to ask Nathaniel, about how they're doing and how can I be supportive, and what is your experience like? Just really kind of basic conversation about their illness if they're willing to be open about it, and it's wonderful when they are. That's been really helpful for me, and being able to share my story with them and just being able to speak openly and fluidly about this really devastating disorder. I think it would have been really helpful if I had been the one to approach Nathaniel and start a conversation about his BDD. It was something that he clearly was uncomfortable bringing up with me, and I kind of just bought into that silence. But looking back, I think I played a large part in making him feel like he couldn't be open with me about it. And I think if I had been the one to come forward and be like, this is something that I really want to talk with you about, what do I need to do in order to make this a safe space for that kind of conversation, I think that would have been so helpful for both of us. And I think it really would have prevented this situation in which there was so much that was unsaid and so much that we were constantly sort of dancing around, but not really directly acknowledging.